Well, my plan has shifted a little. I was originally thinking I was going to slap the gasket on this baby. And I went online and I was reading about these things. They're sort of notoriously bad about leaking. And one of the things they talked about is that, you know, if you over tighten them, they'll warp. And I came out and looked at this one. I don't know if y'all can see it through the camera, but I can. If you look down this line, you see how this thing's kind of pooched out, and then it comes back in where the bolt hole is, and then it kind of pooches out again. Well, you know what? That ain't going to work. If I put that on there, I'm just going to ruin a new gasket, and it's still going to leak. So what I did is I went inside and looked online, and I found a chrome-plated valve metal one for this thing for like 40 bucks, shipping and everything. It's actually less than I paid for the gasket. So rather than ruin a good gasket and still have it be broke, I ordered that baby. Of course, it ain't going to come now for a few days or a week, which means I won't be able to drive this unless I have this back on there. So what I decided to do, because what it had before was almost no gasket whatsoever, is I'm going to use me some make a gasket, seal, whatever you call that stuff. They got some stuff that's supposed to make its own gasket, and I'm just going to coat this with it. I'm going to let it harden up, do the same thing on the top of the head over there and let that harden up, and after it sits for about an hour and gets pretty tacky, I'm going to gently sit it down in place and gently put the bolts in and tighten them finger tight. That way, if I need to move this thing around, I can. It probably will still leak, but it won't leak as bad as it would leak if it didn't have anything on there whatsoever. And that will allow me to be able to move this thing around, because I got other things I'd like to do. I'd like to fix that door and window on the other side, and I got plenty more welding to do on this baby. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean this up, put the make a gasket stuff on it, let it harden up, and while it's hardening up, I got these bolts I'm still working on. I showed you these the other day. These are actually head bolts, and these little valves right here hold the valve cover gasket down, and they've been torqued up so tight that they're locked to each other. And I've had them soaking in peanut butter blaster. That's what somebody called it. I thought that was cute. Had it soaking in PV blaster for a few days, and I made me this little skinny wrench here, and I'm going to try to use the skinny wrench and get me in the wrench and this thing all together on the vise over here and see if I can get these broke loose. First thing I'll do though is clean this up, put the make a gasket stuff on it, and let it be hardening up while I work on it, and then we'll go from there. As you can see, we did get a little snow. Not a lot for Maine for this time of the year, but we got some, and of course Zachary is out enjoying it. Don't look. Oh, Zachary, every time I point the camera at you, you do that, man. I have to cut that out because the YouTube audience can't see that.